All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to go ahead and call our meeting to order. Today is October 21st, and it is 7:01 p.m. I'd like to go ahead and do a roll call. So just your ward and your name, please. Get us started, Ward 1, your word and your name.
Thank you, Mayor.
No, just your word and your name.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Melinda Mendoza, Ward 1. Present.
Councilmember Allison Pages, Ward 2, present.
Councilmember Sophia Emirates, Ward 3, present.
Councilmember Fanny Roque, Ward 4, present.
Okay, so we're all present. I'd like to invite us all to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. On the agenda for this evening, we have some presentations. We have the Colmar Manor Ethics Committee. We have Chief Bill Brodas from the Brentwood Volunteer Fire Department. And then we have a Filipino Heritage Month proclamation. On the consent agenda, we have the Department Operations reports, which include the Town Administrator and Public Works report, the Treasurer's report, Public Safety and Code Compliance. We'll then go on to the Mayor's report, Council Member reports and concerns. We'll open it up to resident comments. We'll then go on to discussion. We'll give an update on the progress of the residential parking survey. We'll give an update on the Charter Amendment, Section 504 for Town Administrator. And then we'll give an update on the Filipino parole mural that will be taking place here in the building. Under our action section, we will go ahead and do a second reading and an approval of ordinance O08-2025, which is speed camera fines, and then we'll adjourn. I'd like to go ahead and request a motion to approve our agenda.
Councilmember Emirates, I'll make that motion as stated.
Councilmember Melinda Mendoza, I second that.
I'll go ahead and open it up for discussion. Is there anything here that anyone has a question about?
Yes, Mayor. As I'm looking through the packet, I just don't see the Town Administrator and Public Works report present in the packet. Is that available for us?
It will not be tonight. It will be available no later than close of business tomorrow via email.
Wait, what are we missing? The Town Administrator report. Oh, okay. Thank you.
In that case, I would like to request that item be removed from the consent agenda.
Okay, so remove the Town Administrator report from the consent agenda. So do we need to amend the motion then?
Yeah, so Councilmember Emirates, thanks, Melissa.
All right, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure. Yes, we got to amend the agenda.
Yeah, absolutely. Councilmember Emirates, I'll amend that motion to approve the agenda with the removal of the Town Administrator and Public Works report from the consent agenda.
Councilmember Melinda Mendoza, I will second that.
Okay, I don't think there's any discussion because we just had it, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays, any? Okay, great, thank you. All right, so why don't we go ahead and get started with our first presentation, which is the Colmar Manor Ethics Committee. We have Commissioner Wagner present, so I'll go ahead and invite the commissioner. Actually, if you want to come and sit here instead of being there, that would be awesome.
So presentation might be a little grand of a term. I'm Lauren Wagner. I am on the newly formed Ethics Commission here in Colmar Manor, and we just wanted to introduce ourselves to the council and everyone here. Ms. Lalicia Lee should be on the Zoom, I believe, but she is at work this evening, so she was trying to multitask. We just wanted to let you know that we're here to make sure the town is in compliance of Chapter 25 in the town code, which is what Ilan brought for all of you. So the basic purposes are shown in 25-4 on the second page. We will be devising, receiving, and maintaining all forms required by the chapter. So that's pretty much going to be financial disclosure forms, and it gets into that later. We're going to be developing procedures and policies for advisory opinion requests and providing published advisory opinions to persons subject to this chapter, which is basically just all elected officials, town employees, and appointees to commissions. And we wanted to know if y'all had any questions that we could answer, any questions that we should be looking into, because we're very new and we're learning.
Thank you very much for your participation in this. One thing I just wanted to confirm, is there, because I just see on the page that it says that the commission will consist of 3 members, is there currently a 3rd member, or is it just currently you and Ms. Lee at this point?
Yes, thank you. It is myself, Miss Lee, and Amy Galatly, who couldn't be here tonight for a work engagement, but they're all very excited to meet everyone and get started on these tasks. We wanted to make sure everybody knew that by April 30th, we're supposed to have financial disclosure forms submitted to the commission. When we figure out what those forms look like, we're currently studying other local jurisdictions and seeing how they get stuff done, and most of them have their forms on the website, so anyone on the council and any town employees can fill that out through the website, and we're gonna figure out how to do that. Yeah.
So we currently have financial disclosure forms. We have filled them out. Do you guys remember the last time that we filled them out?
Mayor, could I?
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
Melissa.
so when they put in their candidate forms, they have to turn in financial disclosure forms. So we do have financial disclosure forms. Since when everybody turned in the most recent would be the special election and then the new council member, so that was recent, and the last one would be mayor's wasn't till the last mayor was when you were appointed mayor, when you put in your candidacy. So every financial disclosure form is when you put in your application. We do get financial disclosure form.
So do me a favor and double check that, because I filled one out, not when I was elected, but I filled one out maybe like a year ago or something like that, because the previous town administrator had us fill one out, and we're supposed to fill one out yearly.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I could check the files to see if I find one, but we do have some financial disclosure form for mayor and council.
Ms. Flores, would we be able to email you and maybe get some of your expertise on that?
Yeah, so our town clerk is Dan. I'm just his assistant, but I will definitely add him to the email, and he will give me the leadway of what yes, you can email me, but you can email Dan also.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I see that Miss Lee also, I think, believe joined. So Miss Lee, if you want to turn your camera on and go ahead and introduce yourself.
Ms. Lee, is it working?
So you won't be able to see me. Please. I'm not sure what other information we need. Um, what else should I be saying? Can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. If you just wanted to introduce yourself, and I don't know if you wanted to add anything to what Commissioner Wagner just shared about
No.
what you all have been working on or anything really.
So, what you shared. Only part I heard was about the disclosure form.
Thank you. Okay, so on my end, take a look at the financial disclosure forms that we currently have. And then I really like to see what other towns that are similar in size to Colmar Manor do when it comes to an ethics commission. But actually, one thing that I saw that Hyattsville had was, I know that this can be sometimes a contentious thing, but people always ask. There's some type of a form that you can fill out to verify that you live in town. So I found something, I found the link to it. I have to search through my email, but I'll share that with you. I'm not sure if that's of interest, but that's something that I'll definitely share with the commission. The other thing I wanted to share too is one of the things that I'm pretty passionate about is we need to get more people involved in the town. And so for me, term limits when it comes to appointees to the Ethics Commission and other groups is super important, because if we don't, then it's the same people doing the same thing over and over again. So if that's something that you all can discuss too, that would be a suggestion of mine. Does any other council member want to add?
Yeah, I have a question. I did fill out a financial disclosure form when I was, at the beginning. But other than the council and mayor, does the town administrator, the treasurer, do all of them fill that out? And is it recurring every year, or is it just a one-time thing?
All right, according to the code, it is all elected officials, employees, and appointees to commissions of the town. So I believe I will also have to, people on commissions are supposed to also be turning these in. And it is annual by April 30th. So I think just lump it in with tax stuff. So, and where we are currently, our next meeting will be announced. It is the first Wednesday of every month. And at our next one, getting our bylaws on paper, and that will contain term limits. So if anybody has feedback on what the term limits should be, we love feedback. So let us know. Any other questions at the moment?
If I may, good evening and thank you for joining us. I would like to report to the mayor and council that I did have the opportunity to sit in on the inaugural meeting of the Ethics Committee. And we did have Attorney Deloach to be present at the meeting. And he was very skilled in his advice to the commission. We discussed a number of things as far as the setup is concerned, and I'm sure the town will greatly benefit from those who have been appointed. Of a specific nature, I would probably ask that you reach out to Attorney Deloach, or if you'd like me to reach out to him on your behalf to connect you. There is a 25.4 Section D points out the requirement on or before October 1st of each year to certify, this is one of the primary purposes of an ethics committee, to certify that the town is in compliance. However, this is a newly formed commission, and therefore you probably would not have sufficient information to be able to report to the state as required. That would be a question to ask Attorney Deloach. How would you request a substitute statement or a substitute something since the commission is newly formed and you would not yet have that information?
Thank you so much. We'll put that on our agenda for the next meeting. I appreciate that. Any other questions?
I think that's it. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Next up on the agenda under presentations is Chief Bill Brodus with the Brentwood Volunteer Fire Department Station 55.
Good afternoon, Mayor, or good evening, Mayor and Council. It's been a busy day. We have a new county fire chief. She was sworn in this evening, so I left there immediately to come here to make this meeting. So I think it'll be good for the county as a whole. I've known Chief Demetrius Michaelitis since 1990. She came on in the fire department 1987. She retired in 2013. I asked her to come back to be the fire chief for the county. And one of her key principles is to mend the relationship between the career and the volunteer firefighters like it used to be, and to bring try to adjust the funding and seeing what's going on, because it's tough. It's tough. You should have received an email from the chief or her aide for the 30th. And I thought that was important because I talked to her at a meeting, because it's just a lot of misinformation out there about what we do and our participation, our qualifications. And I thought that we have a new fire chief. It would be good for the mayors in this area here to sit and meet the new fire chief and to get, you know, everybody on the same page. And I think this was about a week and a half ago, or maybe 2 weeks, when I asked her for a meeting. So she was immediate to get that invitation out to you. So she's very responsive. She's the people's chief, as she was quoted when they did her introduction this evening. So I think it will be a great partnership with the career and the volunteer members, because it's important for our survival. And I say that in these trying times, it is very difficult. I went to a function at the request of another mayor when I was at Cheverly Day to go over to Mount Rainier. They had something at not Trader Joe's, but the
Joe's Movement.
Joe's Emporium. And when I rolled in there, the temperature dropped 20 degrees. You know, I was immediately confronted, like, you know, what are you doing here? And like I was asked, fire department. So it wasn't very a warm feeling, so I just left after about 10 minutes. And I can say officially, both the career and the volunteer side, we've been told with the current climate, with the outside agencies that are making their way, doing their law enforcement duties, we're not participating, we're not assisting, we're not supporting any of that.
Estamos apoyando nada de eso.
So that,
Entonces, eso.
because I had some initial heartburn about what our responsibilities were, because we're in a government building, we have functions there, we have things going on there, and I made clear that I don't want to be affiliated or associated with any of that activity that's been seen on the news going on. We just don't support that for a moral reason. We're here to support everybody in the community. That's the oath that we took many years ago. I've been volunteering for 35 years. So, and I stand behind, you know, we help any and all people regardless. We support all people in the community. We're a community-based fire department, and that's the thing that we have to get back to that. Our volunteers come from the community. That's what happened when the fire departments first started over 100 years ago. My department is 103 years old. So that's a tradition of the community supporting the fire department. So when we come for funding requests, we come to get volunteers to join, it's because we are a community-based fire department. So people can protect their own community and have the ability to get free training to grow and have a partnership and take care of their community. And I'm thankful that, you know, Mayor and Council, you support us. That's why I make sure I come to your events. You know, some days it's difficult because I've got other voices that I have to listen to, but I just wanted to put that on the record that Colmar Manor has been very supportive of the fire department over the years, and we'll continue that. That won't change. That's been my goal, been my mission since I took office in 2017, running the station that would be community-based and that would be focused on the community and supporting that community as best we can. And if you have any questions for me, I will entertain them.
You had a terrific open house the other weekend.
Thank you.
It was great.
Thank you. And that was good to try to bring some folks in just to see what we do and to come look at the station. So I'm glad you were able to make it and come by and see us.
And I also got a free smoke detector.
Oh, good. Very good. Very good. Very good. And also, I'm on the board of directors for the Southern Maryland chapter for the American Red Cross. So, again, we have new leadership in the fire department now. So I have come through here some years back. We did a sound the alarm. So if you're looking in the future to try to reach folks that may be interested in getting smoke detectors at a greater level, and we can work that out where we can set up something in the spring or during the summer to do a sound the alarm. The last one that I did was in Tuxedo, Maryland, and part of Ward 2 in Cheverly. So it wasn't, I think people were a little apprehensive to open up their doors and receive smoke detectors. It's just, we're just in that space now. And it bothers me to no end because I'm just here to help. My group is here to help. That's all we're trying to do and prevent someone losing their life in the event of a fire. So I'm saying to you that good PR ahead of time will probably save us a lot of bad turnout and response if we were to come in the community to do that.
Chief, you just gave me an idea. I think it would be a great idea either in November or December to do some type of like a demo or something around knowing how to be safe during the holidays when it comes to like Christmas trees and, you know, cooking and all that stuff, because that happens a lot.
Would you like that at the town meeting, or would you like something?
Maybe before a town meeting. I think that's not a bad idea. Maybe
Okay.
like around 6:30 or something.
Okay.
That would be something really cool, just to remind people, like when they're cooking. We had a fire actually in town, but it was over, when was it, in the spring, right?
In the spring.
Yeah, someone, you know, they were cooking and it caught fire, so, but now when we're gonna start cooking and when the holidays with the Christmas trees and the lights,
Absolutely.
we wanna make sure that everyone's safe.
All right, we can work on that. Yeah, that won't be a problem at all. Won't be a problem at all.
All right, thank you, and, you know, I really appreciate your partnership. Yes.
Thank you very much for being here, and you and I go back a long time, and I would like to remind the or at least co-sign on what you said to the mayor and council about the tenuous relationship that has existed between the volunteers and the career firefighters. And it helps, it's comforting to me for me to know that the new chief is taking that matter very seriously. And without going into a lot of briefing, there is a checkered history between volunteer fire companies and the career fire companies. And any opportunity that we have to support our VFD in the presence of the new chief, I think that would benefit not only his firehouse but all of the VFDs in the county. Fire services would not be possible in Prince George's County if it were not for volunteer fire departments. And just by way of a brief remark, the county fire service was founded on volunteer fire departments at a time when the county was mostly rural. And so over time, there became a need for a career fire department. But if we were to try to have a all-career fire department like DC and some of our neighbors, the property taxes in Prince George's County could not afford it. So there cannot be an all-career fire force in Prince George's County under the present tax base. It's just not possible. So therefore, what these men and women do in the volunteer fire service is absolutely essential, and they need our municipal support, our county support, whenever they have an opportunity to lobby before the fire chief, particularly in the new administration. So I just wanted to add that
Thank you, Mr. Bagley.
to what was already said. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Bagley. So we would like to go ahead and show you our
Okay.
support. So
Okay.
this is
Thank you.
this is the support that we give to your fire department.
Yes, ma'am.
And we do it every year. We try to do it
Yes, you
every
do.
year. So if we can all take a photo with Chief Brodus and present him with his check. All right, thank you so much. Next up on the agenda is the Filipino Heritage Month proclamation. So we've been doing this every year. If there are people on here that aren't familiar, our town has a very big Filipino population. I would say one of the biggest outside of, let's say, Silver Spring, and we're a small town. but the likelihood of you having a Filipino neighbor is very high. Although my neighbors are Ethiopian and Eritrean, that's a growing community in Colmar Manor. But anyways, we're very proud of the Filipino leadership that we've had, especially with Councilmember Mendoza. And so we are going to go ahead and proclaim Filipino Heritage Month. So, whereas the earliest documented proof of Filipino presence in the continental U.S. was the date of October 18, 1587, when the first Luzones Indios set foot in Morro Bay, California, on board the Manila-built galleon ship Nuestra Señora de Esperanza. Whereas the Filipino-American National Historical Society recognizes the year of 1763 as the date of the first permanent Filipino settlement in the United States in St. Malo Parish, Louisiana, which set in motion the focus on the story of our nation's past from a new perspective by concentrating on the economic, cultural, social, and other notable contributions that Filipino Americans have made in countless ways towards the development of the history of the United States. Whereas the Filipino-American community is the second largest Asian American group in the United States, whereas Colmar Manor's Filipino community continues to thrive and grow annually, the community celebrates Christmas at the town hall with family and friends from the greater Washington, D.C. area. Whereas Resolution R03-2023 recognized October Filipino-American History Month in the town of Colmar Manor. Now, therefore, I, Monica Casañas, Mayor of Colmar Manor, encourages all residents and staff to celebrate Filipino Heritage Month and celebrate the vibrant Colmar Manor Filipino community and acknowledge Filipino Americans and their historic contributions to the nation. Signed and entered this 21st day of October 2025. So it is Filipino Heritage Month. So do you want to say a few words, Miss Representative of all the Filipinos in the entire universe?
Thank you.
So we'll have more updates on some events that are coming up that will be presented in our reports.
Mayor?
Yes?
If this is intended to be a town proclamation, it would, is this a town proclamation or mayoral proclamation?
Town.
If it's a town proclamation, then someone should enter a motion and it'd be approved.
Councilmember Melinda Mendoza, I'll make that motion stated.
Fanny Roque, I second it.
I'll go ahead and open it up for discussion. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.
So, as it has been approved, what we will do is take the proclamation and put it on the fancy paper and prepare it for your signature.
Thank you so much. Do we all have to sign it since it's a town proclamation? No? Okay.
No, the vote makes it official.
So next up on the agenda is the consent agenda. So we don't have the town administrator and public works, but we do have the treasurer's report and public safety code compliance. Are there any questions, anything that anyone wants to pull out of those reports to comment on or to ask questions about?
Madam Mayor, the clerk treasurer did indicate that he would not be able to make the meeting tonight. However, he remains available by phone or via email should anyone have specific questions concerning the treasurer's report.
So Councilmember Pages and I met right before this meeting to go over some of the questions that she has. One of the main questions on the treasurer's report is what the exact number is of the unreserved funds. So there are two different locations where two different numbers are stated. Allison, do you have that? Do you know where that is? Oh, here we go. So if you take a look at page 2 of 6, under line item 4700.
Madam Deputy Clerk, are you noting this, please?
Unreserved funds on there states that we have budgeted 961,266. That's what the budget is, or what's budgeted. And when you take a look at page 6 of 6, under line item 6210, that number has 853,126. So we have a question about what number are we looking at? What's the difference?
Which line are you, which line is 6 of 6?
So page 6 of 6, it's line item 6210.
I'm sorry, Mayor, I was on mute. I couldn't unmute myself. Could you please repeat that for me?
If you take a look at page 2 of 6 under the treasurer's report, and you take a look at line item 4700,
4,700.
it states that the unreserved fund balance is 961,266.
Okay.
And then if you take a look at page 6 of 6,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at line item 6210, it says 853,126. So there's a question why there's two different figures.
Okay, I have noted this and I'll email him.
There are some other questions that I've already emailed our treasurer, and Allison will follow up with him as well for her other questions.
Okay.
Are there any other questions or anything that anybody wants to pull out? Okay, if there are none, then we'll go ahead on to the next item on the agenda. We'll go ahead and go on to the mayor's report, so go ahead and do that. Bear with me for one moment while I share my screen.
Mayor, I just want to confirm, is a motion needed to approve the consent agenda?
No, because the consent agenda is part of the agenda overall, so that's why we removed the town administrator report earlier on. In addition to the mural being painted and already on the ground, and we had the ribbon cutting, we are installing lighting to the mural, so you'll see that in the coming months. We're gonna continue working on the Laracy lot and the move that project along. And as far as the past meetings that I've had, I didn't put on here, but I just attended the MML Fall Conference, and that was a great, it was a great time to see what other towns are doing. So there's a town called Oakland, which is next to Cumberland. They have about 1,800 residents, and they have a small downtown area with lots of businesses. So it's interesting to see the downtowns of other small towns and how they're working with their businesses and how they're working to attract more people and how they beautify their town and whatnot. It's a really, really beautiful place. They have a museum. They have a couple of museums. But if you ever have the opportunity, definitely go to Oakland and take a look at what they have there. I sat in on a couple of different workshops. One of them included a workshop on sister cities. A presentation that I really enjoyed was the mayor of Rockville talked about how they have a sister city partnership with Yilan in China. And another mayor talked about how they have a sister city in Germany. I think it's, no, not Germany, Estonia. And so I am interested in exploring how we can bring sister cities to Colmar Manor. We met with the partners of the Port Town Shopping Center, or the partner, which is Mr. Lusk. We invited a lot of the businesses to come and sit with us, and it's very difficult to get them to come out, so we didn't have anyone else from the business community come out. But either way, it was still a very fruitful conversation and meeting, and we're going to continue to work on getting those businesses to come out, see how we can support them. And obviously of discussion was the supermarket and what's going to happen with the supermarket. And what we've been told is that hopefully by spring, hopefully we will see a new supermarket. We just don't know who yet. But they've been working on that for the past couple months because obviously they own the space, they're losing money when they don't have someone, when they don't have a tenant, and they realize that we're in a food desert. So they know that, that we need to have someone in there as soon as possible. We've met with the Prince George's Gateway Development Authority. I sit on the board along with town resident Abigail Diaz, and they just came out. We worked on this for the past 6 months. Actually, Mr. Bagley was part of this too, on a comprehensive neighborhood revitalization plan 2025. This booklet was just printed. I'll see if I can get an electronic copy so that we can share it on the town site. I'm not sure if we're going to get any more print copies, but the whole purpose of this is to work together as a gateway, and this includes Bladensburg, Brentwood, Cottage City, Mount Rainier, and North Brentwood, how we can attract business and development to our communities, and how we can leverage all the good stuff that we have going on right now and any plans that we currently have. So that's in here. It's a very interesting read. If you swing by the office, feel free to come and just take a look at it. I'm going to pass this down so you all can take a look at it. We have started up again with our PGCMA meetings. They were on hiatus over the summer. We're back in session. And one of the things of note that I want to make people aware of is that the due structure that they have for PGCMA for all of its members is changing. So our dues are going to increase. PGCMA, the Prince George's County Municipal Association, is an arm of MML, which we are also members of, and we pay dues to PGCMA for all the things that they do. Previously, we had a lobbyist. We had to discontinue the lobbyist, but now we're thinking about having a lobbyist for county-related issues. We also are going to continue having workshops and invite guests to come in and really upskill and network with our different municipal leaders. So I feel like it is a valuable membership to keep. But as everything else is going up in cost, so is the dues for PGCMA. Recently, we hosted a council retreat where we went over again what our priorities are. It was a good time to kind of talk through what's been going on in the town and to talk about some of the issues that we have when it comes to charter amendments and whatnot. And we'll continue the discussion about that later. But it's something that we're continually talking about as a council. And after that, I have here the special work session. So we had a special work session dedicated just to that, to the role of the town administrator. So I just want to thank the council for setting the time aside for the retreat, and also for the work session. So these are times outside of our normal meeting times to sit down and really flesh through what it is that we want to see for our town. And I want to thank our interim town administrator, Mr. Bagley, for coordinating this. We actually enlisted the help of Tom Reynolds of MML, and he came in and he facilitated this retreat for us. But thank you, Mr. Bagley, for all of your work with that.
My pleasure.
I've been in communication with our council member, Shayla Stafford Adams. She also is interested in seeing what's going to happen with the supermarket. More so, I'm interested in talking with her about what's going to happen at the car wash. So we've received a couple of kind of whispers that the lot has gone up for sale and that there could possibly be a new owner. We don't know that yet, but it's not something that we can sleep on. So I'll definitely be reaching out to her and invite anyone else that wants to be a part of that to come meet with her. Some of the upcoming events that we have are Halloween. So we're going to have a Halloween bash here at the parking lot by the town hall. If weather permits, we'll have it outdoors. Same place where we had the pumpkin carving event and the movie night. And we will be having a Filipino Arts Festival here at the town hall on the 26th of October. In November, we will be having a parole making class. I'll let Councilmember Mendoza talk about that a little bit more. But I also want to point out that that mural, the street mural that came into town, has attracted more people interested in doing more art-related activity in Colmar Manor. So we have someone that is going to be painting a mural on one of the walls at the DMF, right outside the DMF hall. And it's just going to be like a nice addition. For a long time, the walls have been bare. But if you come in, little by little, we're adding more vibrancy and color back to the walls. And I'm super excited of this, this mural. We have camping at Newton Street Park on November 8th. So if you receive your newsletter, there's a QR code. Make sure to register. You don't have to pay anything. It's all free. If you don't have a tent, that's okay. We'll have tents. You just need to have a sleeping bag and a pillow and a change of clothes. But you don't really have to change clothes either. We just want you to come and enjoy sleeping outdoors in your community, and we'll have the Mount Rainier Nature Center doing their nature walk again, which was a lot of fun last year. We're continuing our community bike ride, so thank you, Chief, for coordinating those monthly events. I think this is part of us as a community coming together, enjoying the trails that we have around us, the green space, and being active. So we range anywhere between 5 to 15 people that come with us on these bike rides, and they're a lot of fun. This past bike ride, we went to College Park. I got the most delicious pies. I'm addicted to these pies. I can't wait to go again and get more of these pies. The next bike ride is tentatively set for the 18th of November. And we are also looking to nail down a date for another code enforcement workshop that is led by Freddie Rosales, our code enforcement officer. So thank you, Freddie, for hosting those. I think that's a great opportunity for people to come out and ask questions, especially when, obviously, when it relates to their property or any other town rules and regulations. Hopefully, we'll have turkeys for Thanksgiving. We'll be distributing those. So if there's anyone in need, any neighbors that you know of that have are going through food insecurity, please reach out and let us know at the town hall. I get a lot of calls sometimes from people saying, oh, I called the town hall, but no one picked up. Well, call the town hall, and when you call, press option 4, and that'll get you to a person. 9 times out of 10, when people tell me what number they pressed, it's the wrong number, and that's why no one picks up. But call the town hall, press option 4, and you'll get someone live. And then I just want to share some pictures of what the past month has looked like. So pictured here is the council We have the chair of Maryland National Parks and Planning Commission, Chair Barnes. We have our delegates, Delegate Fennell, Delegate Ivy. We have our council member at large, Jolene Ivy. We have our Senator Malcolm Augustine. We have a couple of local mayors, Rocio from Brentwood and Mayor Robinson from North Brentwood. And we have a delegate, she doesn't represent us, but she's very active, and I invited her, and she was gracious enough to attend. Her name is Delegate Jocelyn Peña Melnick. And we received a proclamation, so thank you, Councilmember Ivy. Or citation. Here is a photo of the business meeting that we had. We also hosted a Know Your Rights training for immigrant families. So we hosted that here in the outreach room. And I have a picture here. I just want to give a huge shout out to Ms. Blue, who's a former council member. She's really helped me and has been passionate about these dance, party events that we have. It's a women-only dance event. We dance for an hour straight as a form of exercise, and some of the local seniors have been coming, and it's been a lot of fun. I love dancing to all this music with them, and for me, like, I have fun dancing reggaeton with these ladies, but we dance to all types of music. So just thank you, Ms. Blue, and all the seniors that have been attending. We hosted a celebration of different cultures, so I just want to thank Councilmember Pages. Everyone was lined up. There was a huge line for her table. She had the most delicious food. All the kids really enjoyed it. Everyone. I don't think she had anything left by the time that it was over. So just thank you for participating, and thank you to everyone that participated and brought some food and brought a cultural element to share. And we also had our Hispanic Heritage Celebration, and I want to thank Sagrario Ortiz from the group El Poder de Ser Mujer for bringing the dancers and the food, and for always being super involved with our community, especially around Hispanic heritage. And pictured here is Senator Augustine with everyone for that event. The kids really enjoy it. They love it. I want to thank the Community Native Planting Project for coming in, and obviously for Cito, our neighbor, who coordinated this event right next to his house. So there's, right at the end of 39th Ave and Lawrence Street, we got a group of neighbors to come together and clear out the invasive plants that are there. And the before and after pictures are incredible. Right now, it just looks so nice and so clean. And none of this would be possible without Cito and without that group that comes in and coordinates these events with us. And all the kids and all the residents that come out to do this, just thank you. It really makes a difference. Here are some pictures of the retreat with Mr. Reynolds. And then here are some pictures from our pumpkin carving event. It was just a blast, and seeing all the kids and how creative they were, and having them present their pumpkins at the end to judge who had the best pumpkins. But honestly, everyone had a great pumpkin. So thank you to the parents, and obviously to our recreational coordinator, Eduardo. Thank you for coordinating these events and for really getting the kids involved. That picture all the way on the top right is one of my favorite photos of him with the kids. They really like him, so I'm happy that we're able to host these events for the kids and for the families in town. I also want to thank End Time Harvest Ministries. They came out, the Port Town Youth Council, to lay out some wood chips in our West Garden. So just thank you. We knocked it out in 2 hours. What would have normally taken a lot longer. So thank you always for coming out and assisting the Garden Club. On the right, you'll see a picture of the MML Fall Conference, which took place at the Wisp Resort. This keynote speaker is a town administrator in Texas. And I'm actually going to share his keynote remarks with all the council. It was excellent. I've never heard someone speak so succinctly about public administration and the responsibilities that we have, and how we work in our communities, the way that he presented that. So it was an excellent, excellent keynote. And I want to thank Freddie Rosales again for accepting our award from Sustainable Maryland. We received a bronze certification again, and the garden club and the green team for everything you do so that we're able to receive this award. And I asked Freddie the night before, I'm like, please, I gotta leave early. Is there any way that you can go and accept this award on our behalf? And he graciously said yes. And he's way more photogenic than I am, so thank you, Freddie, for accepting this award. And thank you to Sustainable Maryland and University of Maryland. And I'll go ahead and turn it over now to council for their reports.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening to all. Thank you for joining us this evening. Happy October 2025. October is the month when leaves turn red, brown trees turn orange and yellow, fall leaves come swirling down, rake up all the leaves and jump into the pile. Come and pick a pumpkin and carve a silly smile. October is also Filipino American Heritage Month. Its origin commemorates the arrival of the first Filipinos in America on October 18th, 1587. The purpose to recognize the significance through often overlooked contributions of Filipino Americans to U.S. history and culture. The activities, the month includes a variety of events such as cultural festivals, art shows, storytelling, and community gatherings. So I ask that you please join us this coming Sunday, October 26th, here at the Town Hall. A wonderful group made of artists and students from the University of Maryland are hosting a cultural event to commemorate Filipino Heritage Month. The event is free and starts at 1 p.m. So hope to see all of you there. In conclusion, I want to thank all of you for your time and remember to be kind to one another. But before I pass on the mic, I know that we have talked about a parole, and the Filipino parole, it's usually around Christmas time where houses are decorated with these stars, parole. It just the significance is gathering, just fun, and it's beautiful. So I am working with a local Filipino senior who, in his spare time, teaches classes on making paroles. So I'd like to coordinate an event and hopefully have mayor and council and all of us, we can make paroles. And you can have one at your house. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, council member. And I'm sharing the screen. The artist that will be painting the mural has shared with us her final art piece that will go up on the wall. And as Councilmember Mendoza mentioned, this is the Parole This Star. From what I've been told, many Filipinos start celebrating Christmas very early, as early as September. And when? Oh, the Burma? The Burmans from the Philippines are the ones that start celebrating very, very early. And this will be painted on the wall, and the significance of, again, the parole is like this northern star that guides us, and it's really about community and family and coming together. So I'm super excited about this piece. Sorry, so let me go ahead and turn it back to council members for their reports.
This is the Ward 2 report. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Lauren Wagner. I think that's great that she's heading the Ethics Commission. Okay, so before I begin, I do want to let people know I found out the hard way in the mail from my husband, but the speed camera fines have changed from a $40 flat fee to a sliding scale based on speed. So tickets ranging from $50, which is 12 to 15 miles over the limit, to $425, 40 or more miles. I just wanted to bring that to light.
That's not for the stop sign. Did you see the speed cameras?
Yes, yes. The speed cameras, yes. My husband just got 2 tickets, $75 each. So I thought, I will bring this to light. Okay, so the word to report. On October 2nd, do you have my slide up?
Yes,
Oh.
it's up.
Okay. Our code officer, Freddie Rosales, held a code workshop. He gave out certificates for those who attended. So take a look. I have my certificate. Yeah. There you go. And Freddie was very, very receptive to the residents' input and opinions. And I received a nice email from Kurt Plunt, a resident of Ward 2, who thanked me for being there. Here is his email. I even printed that one out. That email really made my year. Now, please take note, there will be another code workshop on October 22nd, which is Wednesday, from 6 to 7:30 at the town hall. So please come. It will be very informative, and then you can have your own certificate to frame. And then October 4th, we had our council retreat led by Tom Reynolds from MML, the Maryland Municipal League. We went over roles and responsibilities, goal-setting exercises, and held discussion. We went over the different forms of municipal government. On October 11th, I had fun attending the open house at our local fire station 855 hosted. I got a free smoke detector. They were being given at one of the tables set up, and many tables had much useful information and also some job opportunities. And there were food trucks, so everybody was having a good time. On October 15th, we held a special work session to discuss the role of a town manager or town administrator, which led to the Charter Review Committee's recommendations to the council 2 years prior. The town manager is currently not in the town charter, but the Charter Review Committee recommendation was that it should be. We will continue the discussion of the role and job description of the town manager at our next work session on November 4th. A review of all of the Charter Review Committee's recommendations will come later in the year. And then on October 18th, I turned out for No King's Day at the corner of 38th and Baltimore Ave, just around the corner from the shopping center. One of the many reasons I went there to protest is for the increase in the Affordable Care Act, the ACA or Obamacare. For example, a 60-year-old couple making $85,000 per year in Maryland could pay an additional $13,700. This is not a small issue. I worry about affordability like everybody else, and I also had fun at the No King's Day. You can see my pictures. The first 2 pictures are of the open house at the Bunker Hill Fire Station. The next 2 pictures are of our special council retreat. I don't know if you can see. The first picture is of Tom Reynolds. The second one shows all of us with Monica and the Mayor Casanas in the foreground. And the last 2 pictures are of the No King's Day protest. And my sign read, "Protest peacefully and boycott good trouble." You know? And I think that's it for my ward too. I hope I hope you know how to reach me. Again, I'm Allison, 3309 40th Place, and my phone number is 301-461-9122. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Good evening, everyone. This is Councilmember Emirates from Ward 3. I just have a couple quick items to go through. First, it's already been noted by some of the other members of council, but just wanted to reiterate that we did get to have the street mural ribbon cutting. If you haven't had the opportunity to see the mural yet, I highly encourage you to check it out. It's really spectacular. I did a walk around town today and got to see it again. It's looking just as vibrant. I'm very excited that we have this installment here in town. I hope to see many more installments. I'm very excited for this impending mural at Town Hall, and I hope to continue to see art grow and flourish throughout Colmar Manor. Next item is around the federal government shutdown. Obviously, we here are not the federal government, and so we do not have control over this, but want to just recognize that this is going on and is affecting so many people directly and indirectly. There's a lot of uncertainty, people who are currently out of work and are awaiting paychecks, back pay, things of that nature. And so just really want to make sure to reiterate, as I often do, to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you're taking care of the people around you. This is causing a lot of stress, a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of financial instability. And so anything you can do to help yourself and help those around you is of critical importance as we continue to make sure that we are a supportive community. Next, we'll be discussing more about the charter amendment processes that are ongoing, but just wanted to note that we are working through those at this time. Right now, our key focus is around the town administrator role, because of course we are very eager to fill that full-time position within the town and continue operations thereafter. But there are also a number of other changes within the charter review that came out of the committee from a couple years ago, and we are continuing to look through those and discuss how to best implement those. We obviously just have only so much time and a tremendous amount of work for the town. Alongside that is then our council strategic objectives. As we are in our new fiscal year, we returned from our summer break, we had our council retreat, we were able to better align ourselves on where we see our priorities, what we think are some of the most important items for continuing to improve the town and move the town forward. And so we will continue to make those efforts, but as always, we eagerly await and welcome the feedback of our residents. Please reach out to us, please email us, please call us, please talk to us when you see us around town. We want to know what your ideas are. We won't know what you want to see in town if you don't tell us. We have plenty of ideas and we're working our best to implement them, but we always want to welcome you to be part of that process. And lastly, just wanted to note that we do have colder weather incoming. The days are still quite beautiful and warm right now, but the nights are getting colder. And so please just make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. If you haven't been running your heating system for the last several months, please make sure you're checking that that's operational before we get into the thick of winter. Please also make sure that you're taking care of your neighbors, loved ones, and animal companions, and ensuring that they have a safe and warm place to shelter as well. And that's all for Ward 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Fanny from Council Member for Ward 4. So for constituent concerns, so we have few, I was talking to a few residents and they were complaining, not complaining, but they were telling me about trash can in our Ward 4, especially in Ward 4. We don't have any trash can on the street. I don't know if I know you. The one that is outside on the street. Normally they're like at every corner. So in all Ward 4, there's no trash can at all. So we have a bunch of trash laying on the street. And that looks pretty bad because, you know, the only trash can is right inside the basketball court. There's none at all. None. In that, all those streets, Newer, Newton, Lawrence, and I think I'm missing one more, Monroe. There's no trash can at all. So there's trash everywhere. So that's one of the issues that we have in that section. So that's one of the complaints from the constituents. I know I'm missing a few activities since our last meeting, but the one that I sent to the mayor was, I just have few, actually, very few. So as you know, I work every single day, so if you wanna talk to me, you can talk to me either earlier in the morning, around 5:30 in the morning, or in the evening around 6 or 7, 6:30 actually. I walk around always, you know, trying to have that communication with my constituents and make sure everything is it's good. If, you know, okay around. So we have the open house, which it was the pumpkin carving. It was really, really nice. It was so nice to see so many people out and so many kids. They were having so much fun. I was having so much fun too. So too bad that I left. I left like I spent like probably like an hour or so, but it was really, really fun. Um, I participate with the mayor and another council member from, I think it was from Brentwood. We went to this celebration for the Spanish heritage. I met some other, I don't know if it was council member, but it was quite few people in there, and it was so nice to see different um, uh, participant, and I had the pleasure to talk to what was her name? The yes, yeah. She said a few words that really got me. I was very touched by everything that she said that night, and that made me think about, when you come to this country, you come with a dream and all that. If you're not from here, and what everything your parents do if they the one who come here first. They have to go through so much to get here. And I remember that my mom always talked to me about, how she came to this country and all that. And I'm like, man, it's really hard. It's really hard. I really appreciate everything. And I'm telling you, it was really nice. So I went there with mayor and other council member, and that was something that was fun. That was fun. We also that night we also went to support our delegate Fennell. She had her fundraising that night too. We went there and support. We show up in there to support her. And I want to say thank you to Chief Stone. We had the community bike. Really nice, like always. Always. It's a pleasure. It was so nice to do that. I wish more people come and participate with us. It's really nice. We do a few stops, we take a picture, we have a lot of fun. I want to encourage everyone, please come and just come to see what we do, and have some fun. I know tough. I mean, right now everything is so hard. It's very tough, with everything that is happening around. But we cannot be like that. We cannot be afraid. We cannot hide. We cannot be hiding. That's not going to solve anything. I know, I understand. There's a lot of people scared of ICE and all that, but we cannot be hiding from them. I wish we can do something about it, but there's nothing that we can do right now. And lastly, I also participate. I went to the open house for the fire station. It was really fun. I had some picture. I couldn't send it to the mayor and Reggie. I totally forgot about the picture, but it was really fun. It's nice to go there and see what's the fire department do. We have so many great things, and we need to be we can support them. I wish we can do more, but there's nothing else that we can do. Just like, just support and go and talk to them, and at least just something nice. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, council member. Thank you all of the council for your report this evening. I'm going to go ahead and open this up for resident concerns and comments. So if you are online, please raise your hand. Please don't forget to give your name and the street you live on, and go ahead and make your comment. I'll give everyone online one more minute to think of any burning questions or comments that they want to make.
Mm. Hello?
Yes, Ms. Lee?
Hi. So, to do a vote as it pertains to the dang, I got a phone for you. The administrative position. Are you going to do a vote? What would you all be doing a vote on that?
So we're gonna discuss that later on in the discussion. I'll go ahead and give an update on that. We'll be, it's a charter amendment, so we will be making certain amendments to the charter.
So that's an automatic that you're doing that. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What's the question?
So, okay, you're making a amendment to the charter. Is that an automatic thing? So there's no further discussion? I know at the work session meeting, you were going to reach out to and get some clarification on some things from the lawyer. So I thought you were going to follow up again because you indicated that that wasn't a vote. So are you going to do a vote as it pertains to what was on the tape, what the comments and the discussion that came from the work session, or you're just going to implement it?
So we can't implement anything until we kind of work through this, receive resident comment, and with all of the charter amendments, we're gonna there are charter recommendations that were made through the Charter Review Committee. We're gonna take them piece by piece. We're gonna ask our town attorney to create a charter amendment that we then bring forth to the town, and we as council will vote on it. After it gets voted on, residents can decide whether they want to accept this or not, and they can actually ask for a referendum. So there's a whole bunch of things at play when it comes to these charter amendments. Do you want to add anything to this, Mr. Bagley?
I think you explained it thoroughly. If I'm understanding Ms. Lee's question correctly, and Ms. Lee, please correct me if I'm misstating your question, is that you're asking about a vote for the actual person to fill the town administrator role versus the process that precedes that? Is that accurate?
Not in particular the person, but I guess because we currently, it's not in the charter, right? So I think that it was going to, what was introduced at the work session was whether or not it was a may shall, and then as it pertains to who was the administrator going to be under. So those questions, I just was wondering whether or not there have been more discussion as it pertains to that, and whether or not it has been determined whether or not you're going to move forward with um, obtaining this position.
If you'll hold that question for a few more moments, there is actually an item on the agenda where the mayor is going to update everyone on the special meeting that they had, and I believe your question will be answered in her update of that meeting. Would that be correct, Mayor? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Stand by, it's coming up.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, I think you need to unmute. If there are no more resident questions or comments, we'll go ahead and go into the discussion phase of the agenda. Why is this? Is it me? Yeah, it was me. Oh, gosh, it was me. Sorry about that. Okay, so under the discussion section of the agenda, we have residential parking survey progress report, the charter amendment update, and then the Filipino Pearl mural update. So why don't you go ahead and take the first piece, please?
I will do that. Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council, for the opportunity to speak to you and to the residents of Colmar Manor. We had our contract parking consultant came by to visit us, to visit the work session that we had a couple of weeks ago, and he went through the preliminary findings of the parking survey. Without going into it in detail, if anyone is actually interested in seeing a copy of the survey, if you ask us for it via email or by telephone, we'll be happy to give you the actual parking survey. But the first phase of that was for the parking consultant to actually go through the town and measure each street for the amount of parkable space. So the report that he brought back to the mayor and council was a measurement of each street, the number of houses on each street, and the capacity of all of the driveways on that street. Out of that, what the mayor and council will do in the next phase is determine what a feasible parking policy would look like on a particular street, with the understanding that all streets do not have the same capacity for parking because of either space or driveways. So the process is underway, and once that happens, the parking consultant will meet again with the mayor and council, make some recommendations based on their findings, and we'll have further discussions in the next work session. I would imagine that this parking matter will be a work session topic for the foreseeable future, but for the next couple of work sessions, perhaps, depending upon how far the discussion goes and how the council wants to move it along. So once again, if anyone member of the public is interested in receiving a copy of the parking survey, we'll be happy to give it to you. And I will pause there unless there are particular questions for me. I see Councilmember Pages.
Yes, I'd like to know, since it was a very short survey that he rendered, could we possibly please put that on the website for the residents to access?
Certainly, yes, we can do that. And, okay, I'm making note of that now.
And another question, he
Yes.
said he was going to revise the survey that he gave us to include a map because there were no map. Like we agreed in the work session that he said he was going to revise it with a couple different ways. When will that be completed? And is he charging us extra money to do that? And those are my next two questions.
Okay, so the agreement is not task oriented. The agreement is hours oriented. So if you look at for example, page 1 in your item, he's outlined the number of hours that have been spent doing various things, and so.
How much is it per hour, may I ask?
67, I believe that's the number that's in my head. That's not on this particular document that I gave you, but yes, it is 67. And so, so as tasks and requests are made, the hours that it takes to do that are added to his report up to the $3,500 amount that was initially approved.
Yes, but he's revising the report because it wasn't sufficient, so I didn't think we had, okay, that's fine. So that's fine, okay.
And that's certainly worth a discussion, because I don't know, I don't know specifically what the requests were. We can talk about those. Now, if the report was insufficient, then that's one type of request. However, if after looking at the report, there's additional information that you'd like to have from seeing the report, then that would be additional hours to generate that information. But there is a process that goes with it, because he could give a survey, and then after discussion, the council could say, you know what, I think I want to have, like for instance, you got the survey, but you realized after looking at the survey that a map would be helpful. So that would be part of the services that he provided. Okay. Any other questions?
One more, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if this will be on the website or it's up to the mayor. We're going to put out a call for people for the parking commission for residents, or that's for another work session, or I don't know.
Yeah, we could definitely put out a call. We can include it in the newsletter. And it's not up to me whether something gets put on the website. Like, all of this stuff has to be put on the website, and even like our town meeting goes on YouTube, so.
Yeah. And so there could be space for a parking commission. I think and there may be, once it goes on the website and the public sees it, they may see the survey and may volunteer and say, I want to be, I want to be a part of this discussion. And public, please be aware, you are welcome to join the work session. It will be on the agenda for the November 4th work session, and at whatever other time the mayor and council puts it on the agenda, it will be there. This is a topic of primary concern to the mayor and council, so I think it will be on. It will be on just about every agenda until it's fully addressed. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bagley. Yeah, one of the reasons why the parking is a topic that we're discussing is because whenever I'm out and about, or whenever we have a town event, people call me, people approach me and talk about parking. And so it is one of our priorities, but you, town residents, have brought this to us, and so we're looking to address it. When it comes to, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to run back to, because I was sent a text while Councilmember Pages was giving her report. She mentioned the code enforcement workshop, which is scheduled for the 22nd. That has been rescheduled for sometime in November. We don't have a date yet, so it will not take place on tomorrow, the 22nd. It's been rescheduled, and Ilhan Abdi sent me the text while we were doing that, and I'd like to shout her out publicly, if I may, because you mentioned the Sustainable Maryland Award that we received. That was her baby, and she shepherded it all the way she shepherded the project all the way through to the finish line, and she got there was a lot of work going into that. I know at one point she was in the office listening. If you are still listening, then I'm going to be your boss for a second, and I'm going to ask you to come in here and just wave at the people and get your applause, because you deserve it. That was 95% Ilhan Abdi, and we did receive our Sustainable Maryland Bronze Award recertification for the next 3 years. Okay. All right. So thank you very much.
Okay. If she comes in here, we'll stop and we'll give her another round of applause. So, as I mentioned before, we had a charter amendment or charter review committee. So, a couple years ago, the council was tasked, according to our town charter, every 10 years we need to review the charter. So we convened a charter review committee. That committee made some recommendations. The recommendations that we have span everything. They span the town administrator role. They talk about the town clerk slash treasurer. They talk about term limits. There's different vocabulary edits that need to go in there. So we have some recommendations that were given to us. The first one that we are working on now, because we have had this shift with the town administrator and we need to hire one full-time because presently Mr. Bagley is part-time. We want to make sure that before we hire anyone, that they know what they're stepping into. Any seasoned, educated, professional town administrator will want that before they accept a position. And so what we've done is we had a conversation about the role of the town administrator, and there were some questions that came up. For example, does the town administrator role need to be in the charter? Is this something that we want to say they need to, we need to hire a town administrator? Do we want to kind of make that a concrete thing in the town charter? And that's where Ms. Lee mentioned the may and the shall. For those that don't understand the verbiage in the town charter, shall kind of locks us in and makes it like mandated that we need to have a town administrator, whereas the may gives us a little bit more flexibility. And so we talked about some of the questions that surrounded this position. We talked about, so that first one was whether it goes in the charter or not. The next one was who the town administrator reports to, what type of government, what type of form of government do we want to have in our town, the pluses and the questions around each argument. And so that special work session that we had was more to take a temperature to see where we were all at, and to kind of think through those questions and just have a public, open dialogue as to where we're standing so that we can all hear each other's perspectives and ideas. And the town retreat kind of laid the groundwork for that. So the next thing that we're going to be doing on that is we're asking the town attorney to come up with the amendment, how it would look like if we were to go with a version of what we want this role to be in the town. And we'll look at that again, we'll dissect it, we'll edit it if it needs to be edited. Whenever there is an amendment that happens to the charter, I just want to make people aware, and this is where the discussion that I started off with at the beginning, where we talked about, where I mentioned this town administrator from Texas who was excellent. One of the key issues that he states is that we don't do a good enough job of educating the public on what we do and what the roles are when it comes to public administration. And so there is a lack of literacy when it comes to how a town is run. We can never vote on anything without making residents aware of what's going on. We have to post it publicly, we have to have hearings on it, we have to open this up for feedback from residents. So I just want to make people aware that when people talk about transparency, really legally, we have to be transparent. So this is the pathway towards deciding if there are going to be charter amendments to our current charter, and the process of that is a public hearing, we vote on it, and then if the town decides, you know what, we don't want that, there are mechanisms and tools in place for you to repeal that. So the town, the residents have the veto power. So that's currently where we're at. The first recommendation that we're tackling is the town administrator role. The consensus so far is that the town administrator will be placed in our charter. The consensus is, or not the consensus, kind of where most of the council is leaning towards is in the charter as a may. The town administrator reports to the mayor. And a lot of this, you know, it's not just we say this and it comes into action. There's a lot of things within that needs to be changed. Employee handbooks, policies, all of this it's a much bigger thing than just saying, hey, this is how we're going to move forward and have the town administrator kind of function in our town. There are a lot of things underneath that have to be taken into consideration and changed. So that's where we are. We're going to continue discussing this at our next work session, which is on November 4th. And due to this process, I think we will finally take a vote on it either in December or January, or does it happen sooner? Yeah, so whenever it's done. So whenever the council is ready to take a vote on it. And as the council members have mentioned, these town meetings aren't the only place to come and talk to us or express your opinion. You can do it via email, phone call, letter, whatever works for you. But it's always, obviously, this is your town, this is your government, and this is how we work for you. So that's it on the charter amendment update. So the first thing that we're tackling is this town administrator role. So keep an eye out and make sure to follow us and ask us questions as we continue to move forward. The next item on the discussion section is the Filipino parole mural update, and I think I already did, but share a little bit about it. But one of the things that I wanted to ask the council, the artist came up with some renderings of what the mural could look like, and I wanted to share those and see what you all kind of thought. Here are the two options that we have for this mural. So this is option 2.
She didn't have any questions for us?
And then here is option 1. Does the council have any feelings towards one over the other? You like number 2?
Number,
Ward 2 likes 2.
I like 2.
Ward 2 likes 2? Ward 3?
Yeah, I like 2. They're both good.
And Ward 1?
They're both good. I like 2 also.
It's difficult for me because I like them both. But I also like option 2. It just feels more, there's more light to it. Mr. Bagley, do you have any thoughts?
I don't get a vote, but I like, I'll share an observation, is that when you look at what's happening here and look at that against what's happening down the street with the street mural, there's a striking theme that kind of link the two together. Even though they're two completely different types of art, it speaks to hope, and it speaks to looking forward. Both of these renderings, whether you look at the shadows or the actual faces in option 2, which is what it sounds like is being chosen here, it shows the diversity of people, and it shows them looking towards the future, which is the exact same thing that happens that's depicted in the street mural down the street. So even the colors are similar. So I like the what's being done here, and if we're not careful, we might actually develop a new Colmar Manor personality here. So I think this is great. I'm also hearing rumors that certain other wards are saying, I don't have a mural in my ward and I'd like one. So there's no shortage of wants and there's no shortage of ideas to get one. There may be a little shortage of money, but I think we can find a source to do that. So that was my comment. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you. You really just, you brought it all together, so I appreciate that. And yes, Mr. Zulu, if you're watching, I will give you a call. I did not know that you were an artist, and we would love to have your artistic touch in town. Anyone else that is a creative and wants to have more art in our community, This is who we are. So thank you for even thinking about sharing your gifts with us. So looking forward to that. Great. So next on the agenda is the action section, which is Ordinance 008-2025, speed camera fines, the second reading and approval. So I'll let Mr. Bagley take that.
Thank you once again. And the ordinance O-08-2025, item 11 for second reading and approval. This ordinance, upon passage, will bring Colmar Manor into compliance with Maryland state law concerning fines levied against violators for speed camera violations by implementing the mandated tier structure for such fines. Okay, here is second reading. Emergency ordinance number O-08-202-2025, an emergency ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Colmar Manor, amending chapter 250, article 3, speed monitoring systems, subsection 250-22, civil penalty for speed monitoring system penalties, use of revenue for of the town code, and to establish a tiered civil penalties to comply with state law. Whereas pursuant to Chapter 4, Section 401.0, powers of the town council, the mayor and town council shall have the power to pass all such ordinances not contrary to the Constitution and laws of the state of Maryland or said charter, as it may deem necessary for the good government of the town, for the protection and preservation of the town's property, rights, and privileges, for the preservation of peace and good order, for securing persons and property from violence, danger, or destruction, and for the protection and promotion of the health, safety, comfort, convenience, welfare, and happiness of the residents of the town of Colmar Manor and visitors thereto. And whereas pursuant to subsection 21-809B of the Transportation Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, a speed monitoring system was established in the town, and whereas during the 2025 legislative session, the General Assembly passed House Bill 182, which established a tiered civil penalty structure for violations of the speed enforcement program and became law on October 1st, 2025. And whereas the council finds it in the best interest of the town to amend the town's traffic ordinances to provide as provided herein below. Section 1, now therefore be it ordained by the town council of the town of Colmar Manor that subsection 250-22A is hereby repealed, reenacted, and amended as follows. Subsection 250-22, civil penalty for the speed monitoring system penalties, use of revenue. A civil penalty shall be issued for violations of the speed monitoring system as follows, subject to an additional late fee if not paid within 30 days after issuance of the citation. Section 1, if the citation alleges that the driver of the motor vehicle exceeded the speed limit by between 12 and 15 inclusive miles per hour, the fine is $40. If the citation alleges that the driver of the motor vehicle exceeded the speed limit by between 16 and 19 inclusive miles per hour, the fine is $70. Section 3, if the citation alleges that the driver of the motor vehicle exceeded the speed limit by between 20 and 29 inclusive miles per hour, the fine is $120. Section 4, if the citation alleges that the driver of the motor vehicle exceeded the speed limit by between 30 and 39, there's a typo in there, 30 and 39 inclusive miles per hour, the fine is $230. And Section 5, if the citation alleges that the driver of the motor vehicle exceeded the speed limit by 40 miles per hour or more, then the fine is $425. The penalty shall be paid to the town of Colmar Manor, and all unpaid violations shall be forwarded for collections actions, except that in a contested case before the District Court of Maryland, the penalty shall be collected by the District Court in accordance to subsection 7-302A of the Courts and Judicial Proceedings Article of the State of Maryland Code and subsection 21-809 of the Transportation Article of the Maryland Annotated Code, and distributed in accordance with subsection 12-118 of the Transportation Article of the Maryland Annotated Code, as any of the foregoing may be amended from time to time. There are no changes to Section B. Section 2, be it further ordained and enacted by the mayor and council of the town of Colmar Manor that any prior ordinances adopting and enacting any provision of this ordinance or any other ordinance or resolution previously adopted pertaining to a subject or subjects embodied in the title of this ordinance or the provisions found in conflict herein shall be deemed repealed and superseded by the provisions of this ordinance. And should a previously enacted ordinance cover a provision or subject that is not covered by this ordinance, it shall remain in full force and effect unless it directly conflicts with the express language of this ordinance. Section 3, be it further ordained and enacted by the mayor and council of the town of Colmar Manor that this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon passage as an emergency ordinance. Madam Mayor and members of the council, that is the content of ordinance O-08-2025. What is your pleasure?
So this is an emergency ordinance because this has already been implemented in the county, correct?
That is correct, yes, ma'am. In
So
the
that-
state,
In the
actually.
state?
Yes.
So this is why we are having this reading and this discussion on this emergency ordinance. So there's really nothing that we can do. We have to adopt this. So I'd like to go ahead and request a motion to approve this ordinance.
Mayor, could you make sure we say emergency ordinance as the
Thank-
motion?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I would like to request a motion to approve emergency ordinance O-08-2025.
Councilmember Emirates, I'll make the motion to approve emergency ordinance O-08-2025.
Fanny Roque, I second it.
So I'll go ahead and open it up for discussion. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Councilmember Emirates, I just have a question. Are we allowed to enforce any additional penalties, or is this just the exact model that we need to incorporate into our town and our cameras?
I believe we're, I don't want to use the word stuck, but this is what we get. Our ordinance for the speed monitoring is based on the state law. And we've been involved in the program for the last year, but for the last several years, that fine has been $40 per violation, period. And as of October 1, they've made it a tiered system where it starts out at $40 and then goes all the way up to whatever that is, $275. And we're
$425.
$425 for the highest ones. That's an egregious violation. That's 40 miles. That's coming 70 miles an hour down Bladensburg Road. Which, so I think to answer your question, this is the fine as established by the state.
Okay, understood. Thank you for that. And then just one additional question. I believe it's Obvio that handles our speed cameras, or whoever manages them. Are they aware and prepared to enact these to start dispensing appropriate fines?
Yes, it's Red Speed that does our speed cameras. They're well aware of this, and they will be adjusting. They are doing a modification on our contract with them because of the increased penalties, but that's coming down. That's not here yet. For today, we're just dealing with the fines.
Sorry, this might need to be a separate question, but do you know how that's going to modify our contract?
Not exactly, but it is, the fines are, the current contract is based on the fines of $40 per violation, but it is going to go up. So in very brief discussions with them, there is extra clerical duties. They have to segregate the violations and stuff, so they are going to come back with an addendum or an amendment to their current contract, but it's not readily available.
Understood. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or any other comments? Okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and request a vote. Are there any abstentions or nays? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the motion passes.
Who was the second?
The second was Fanny? Okay, so that is it for our agenda this evening. I'd like to go ahead and request a motion to adjourn.
Ward 2, I request I move to adjourn.
Councilmember Emmerich, I'll second that.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.